mind you, me and Charlzetta, we get up out of there. We gone. We a little distance away from the school. So I'm like, this Marky calling me. So she like, pick it up. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna pick it up. She like, why not pick it up? It's your brother. See what he want. Now, in my mind, I was like, no, because I still need to know where he was at around 5th pit. Number one, you didn't tell me. You act like, oh, I'm suing your business. So you basically was telling me to mind my business and stop stalking you and you ain't telling me nothing. How did you get back into class so fast when I've been walking up and down the hallways looking for you? Who did you go see? That's what I wanted to know. My mind was still stuck at 5th pit. So no, not picking up. So as I look at the phone, boom, it stopped ringing. So she like, call him back. Don't be like that. I'm like, no. I'm like, he got his own friends. He probably in trouble with Augie. Something probably happened. Now, mind you, we getting closer and closer to my crib now. Roosevelt called me, so I looked. I'm like, I pick up. I'm like, hello? So I'm telling her like, I'm like, hello? He like, hey, where you at? I'm like, oh, I'm on the bus. He like, on the bus? You left your brother? I'm like, huh? You left your brother? You know he just got done fighting. He in the office. I'm like, he in the office. Yeah, come back up to the school. I'm like, I'm almost home. So I'm like, what happened? So Roosevelt giving me the tea over the phone. He like, man, Dorothy ended up bringing this big dude up here, and him and Marky end up getting into it and scuffling. Marky's shirt ripped, woo. He wet. I'm like, what? He wet. He like, just come up here. So I'm like, man, he like, don't do that. I'm like, all right, here I come. So I hang up. I'm like, we gotta go catch the bus on the opposite side. She like, wow. I'm like, something happened with Dorothy and Mark. She say, see, I told you. I'm like, just like, she like, well, can we stop and go get some chips and cheese? And I'm like, no, we better go back. I'm like, I'm supposed to be making you fries. She like, yeah, that's gonna take a minute. I'm like, it's not gonna take a minute, I promise. She like, so you gonna make me some chicken with that? I'm like, I got chicken. You want me to make you chicken strips? I got chicken strips. She like, you gonna make chicken strips? I'm like, yeah, or you want to make them? I'm like, I make them the best. So she said, no, you can make them. I'm like, all right. I'm like, come on. So boom, we cross the street or whatever. Now we wait on the bus. So we just waiting and waiting. My phone go off again. It's Roosevelt. So he like, where you at? I'm like, I'm waiting on the bus. Wait on the bus. Like, I can't fly there. Like, I can't fly there. And Marky normally, like, he do sometimes come home with me, but majority of the time he always right behind me on the next bus. So it was kind of crazy that he got caught in the fight. And I want to know, like, what happened. I want to know the whole deal. Like, what happened? Boom, here come a bus. We get on there. We just going along. Roosevelt called me again. I'm like, bro, I'm almost there. He like, well, we already walking out the school building. So Marky like, no, you can just hang up. Just hang up. I'm like, tell him to shut up. Here I come, right? I hang up. So she like, he mad? I'm like, he'll be all right. I'm mad too. You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, I don't care. Boom. We end up getting off. We going across the street to the school. We see Chuck, Augie, Roosevelt, Gregory Boo. Like, they was already, like, Marky, they was already getting ready to come, like, go past the gate to get out the schoolway. But we was coming in, so it's like hard not to see us. So I wasn't thinking, see, as a teen, you're not always thinking. God, you're not always thinking, and you gotta think, guys. Boys and girls, you must think. I was trying to be low-key. Nobody really knew Charlzetta was coming over. Nobody knew that. But now, I'm busted because I'm busted. I wasn't thinking about that until we got closer, and Roosevelt was like, wait, y'all was together? And so I'm like, yeah, we was going to my crib. So he like, oh, so Gregory Boo like, we wasn't invited? I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I actually owe her some cheese fries. I'm like, so I'm gonna make us some cheese fries. He like, so you ain't gonna make us no cheese fries? I'm like, Oh, I mean, I can send her a plate. First off, like, you aggressive. Like, what you think? Like, what you talk about? I'm like, I can send her some cheese fries. So Marky like, well, we don't care about no cheese fries. He like, I need to get on the bus so I can go home for mom's snap. I'm like, bro, come here. Let me talk to you. So Augie like, hey. He talking to Marky, right? So Marky turned around, he like, hey, thank you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wait, stop. I'm like, Marky, what happened? He like, you care? I'm like, stop acting hard in front of them. I'm like, yes, I care. What happened? So he like, all right, I'm coming out the school. He like, Dorothy like, where's your brother? Where's your sister? And I said, I don't got no sister. He like, where's the gym? He said, where's the gym? Where's the treadmill? He like, you fat. And he said, once he said that, this dude came out of nowhere. He like, man, he looked like a sumo wrestler. Big. He like, we couldn't even take, he was big. He like a sumo wrestler. He was grabbing me. I'm trying to like move and dodge. He like, I even tried to run. He grabbed me by my shirt. He slinging me. So Marky basically was getting slanged up. He like, you went nowhere to be found. Dorothy trying to swing on me. Thank God Roosevelt and Augie and was there, blah, 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 blah. So he going on how to way my friends and Augie was there. So I was like, bro, I left. He like, yeah, to go be with your little girlfriend. I'm like, stop. So Roosevelt like, oh, y'all date? So I'm like, no, we just cool. We just friends. So Gregory Boo like, so can we come over? I'm like, nah, man, my mom probably won't let y'all come over. So he like, but she'll let my sister come over? I'm like, yeah, she like your sister. She knows. Oh, okay. He like, hey, don't forget to call me. I'm like, yeah. First off, what? Yeah, I'm gonna call you. So Marky like, I'm not getting on the bus with y'all. I'm gonna get on the next bus, right? So we get ready to walk. I'm like, I don't care. We walk off or whatever. Cause security guard coming out there like, hey, telling us, going on ahead and leading that. In my mind, I'm like, Marky been playing with me ever since he met, Augie, like acting a little different, like out the norm. And we got a whole, fifth period, we got a whole substitute teacher that we've been having for these last little few days because the lady who actually run the class, she went into labor. So, you know what I'm saying? This guy is giving hall passes at a time. He kind of like, just only thing he's just there to give us the assignments, we do it, and that's it. He don't really care about the extra and on. So I'm just sitting up there thinking like, so the whole time you getting passes and this man giving you passes, where are you actually going? Because I checked the bathroom, the hall. Like I was legit still stuck on that. Sorry. Still stuck on it. Like, what would you do? And why you don't want to tell me? And I'm not stalking you. Like, I was still stuck on that. And I was just like, didn't care. Okay, you don't want to catch the bus with me? You want to wait on the next one? So be it. Don't call me. I turned around. I looked at Roosevelt and said, don't call me if anything happens. So Marky like, we won't. I'm like, okay. We walk off. So Chazetta like, what is happening? Why this girl want to fight you and your brother so bad? So I kind of gave her the tea, like, well, she was trying to bully, like, this little geek dude or whatever. And then I say, then she ended up trying to grab his bag of chips and bust the chips on the floor. So, I'm kind of, like, telling her, like, little bits and nicks of what's been happening. We get on the bus. Boom. Now, we on the trip of making it home. So she, like, at my house. So she over there, she just texting. So, I'm trying to be cool. So I got her in the inside of the seat. So, like how when you get on the bus, you know what I'm saying, you can tell somebody else to get by the window. So I'm giving her the window seat, right? So she can be in. I'm on out. I'm still a gentleman. So boom, she texts and I'm like, but she kind of got it like that we both can see it. So I'm like, oh, she texting. So, I'm like, yeah, so, you ready for your fries? Like, look at that, like, you ready for your fries? She like, yeah, I'm ready. What? And like, she's having a moment, right? So I'm like, okay. Like, all right. Boom, we get to the stop. I'm like, come on, let's go. So we get off the bus. Now we're walking. We get on my block. Now, as we get on my block is Nikki, Bev, Cynthia, Cody, everybody right there. Kenyatta, everybody right there. Kenyatta, everybody is right there on Bev's porch. So I'm like, as we get closer and closer, I'm like, hey, don't even look that way. She like, why not? I'm like, that just weird to my neighbors. She like, okay. So she just walking. And so as we get like getting closer, like to my house, and we get like up there to get ready to go on the porch, you hear, who is that with my man? And I'm like, what? Like, but it was Nikki's voice. It was Nikki's voice. So she like, who was that? I'm like, I don't know. They probably just talking to themselves on the porch. Like, I don't know. Put my key in the door. My mom is there. She like, hey. She like, Charzetta. So I'm looking like, first off, you look like a psychopath doing that. I'm used to you being mean. Like, oh, I like you one way. Like, you are scaring me. She like, what's going on? And so Charzetta like, oh, nothing, woo woo. Like, I'm just here to get my cheese fries and my chicken. So she was like, y'all want me to order y'all something or pick y'all something up? So I'm like, looking at her like, no, you ain't got, no, thank you. You. I'm like, Mom, no. Like, she like, where's Marky? I'm like, he say he get on the next bus. What took y'all so long? You had basketball practice? What happened after school? Being nice, like, knowing she'd be like, what took, like, she would take it to 1,000 real quick. So I'm looking like, no, like, I just stayed a little bit to make sure Marky was good and we was talking. She like, y'all could have talked at home. I'm like, yeah, he should be coming. She like, okay. She like, make sure you make your brother some chicken and fries too. So I looked, I said, okay. So I heard up, I went downstairs. I took the chicken out. The chicken was frozen. So I said, hey, it's going to be a little minute, but I got it in the cold water. Is that okay? She like, how long is it going to take? I'm like, just give it an hour. She like, okay. So I'm like, come on, you can come in my room. I go in my room. I got my door kind of cracked. So I'm like, hey, what's your favorite sitcom show? So she was like, what you mean? I'm like, what kind of show you watch? She's like, I really don't watch TV. I'm like, I love all the Martins. I'm like, I love Will Smith. So, I'm telling her what I like. So she like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, look, watch this. So I went on ahead and I always had like shows that I knew that was coming on that I wouldn't be at home. I'll be pre-recording it. And then I could go back and play it. So I'm playing it. And I already know the episodes. So I'm like acting like Martin. I'm like, this part. She like, no. So I'm just up there like acting it out or whatever. She like, you should sign up for the acting thing at the school. I said, you know what? I saw that. I'm like, I saw that big board in the hallway. She like, you should. She like, you're actually pretty good. I'm like, a lot of people tell me that sometimes. I'm like, maybe I look into it. She like, I'm gonna remind you. I'm like, all right, I like that. My phone go off. I look, it's Gregory Boo calling my phone. All you hear is front door now opening. You hear Marky like, Rody Dody. I'm like, come on. So she like, is that your brother? I'm like, yeah, just come on. We come in my room and we bump into Caleb. Caleb like, hi. She like, hey, I'm like, he's trying to embarrass me. She like, he is funny. He like, I have to boo-boo. Boo-boo ain't coming. And he slammed the door. I'm like, he's different. He always act like that. I'm like, he's just trying to embarrass me. She like, he's so cute. Why everybody, all my friends always said that. Like, no, he's not. He's annoying. Straight up. So boom, we end up going downstairs. So my mama like, why are you yelling? So he like, Rody Dody, you told mama? So I'm like, hey, we got company. So she like, tell me what? I'm like, Marky, we got company. So he like, so I'm looking at him like, Marky. He like, so my mama like, hello? Is anybody home? Do I got to get the clucking heads in front of company? Now I'm asking, what's going on? So I'm like, Marky, can we wait until Charzetta leave? So my mom like, y'all better come up with an agreement because it seemed like it's something heavy and I want to know. And so Marky like, all right, I'll wait until your girlfriend leave. And so he like, Mom, can I have company? So she like, who? I better know the person because ain't nobody just going to be running in and up out my house. What's company? He like, they on the porch. It's just a few of my friends. She said, you can have 2 people come in and they got about an hour or 2 and everybody got to go. I'm like, but Mom, what? I'm like, I know what he trying to do. He like, no, you don't. And he opened the door. And he brought Gregory Boo and Roosevelt. And he like, can I bring, this my favorite friend right here. And he brought Augie inside the house. Immediately, when I saw Augie inside the house, I'm like, you know what? Marky finna make, I said, hey, I straight up, because Marky was finna make me turn up. I straight up looked at Augie and I said, hey, you can't be in here. So he like, your brother invite me. So my mama like, you don't pay no bills around this house. I said he could come here. He can have company. Who are you? Who made you the boss? I'm like, Ma, you don't even know. She like, no what? I'm like, Marky, tell her. He like, you said after Charzetta leave. So Gregory Boo like, hey, yeah, I was calling you. I'm like, oh yeah, you called me. He like, yeah. He like to let you know that we was coming over here. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, it's cool. So Roosevelt like, oh y'all hanging tight. So I'm like, yeah. So Roosevelt like, so we getting chicken and fries too, right? So I'm like, nah, y'all, nah. It's just enough for us. So Gregory Boo like, oh, it's cool, it's cool. So Marky like, let me show y'all my room. I'm like, when I saw Augie, I was like, and when he did the spell, I could have just hit him in the teeth and hope that they got stuck right there. I looked at him and so I said, Mom, she said, you need to stop. I don't know what's going on, but if you want to tell me, you better be the first one. I'm like, all right, Chazetta, sit down because you're my witness. So she like, oh my God, I don't want to be in this. I'm like, please, you don't got to be in it, but just when I need you. I'm like, she was there, Mom. I said, so okay, so this will happen.